I'm sure every one of you has started a job once in your lifetime. Or even if you haven't and you are looking for inspiration, I can tell you one thing. We as human beings are hopeful. So every time we start something new, there is a honeymoon phase that we are going through. Same thing applies to starting a new job. There is a honeymoon phase in the beginning, but then it tends to fade away. In this video, I'm going to share 3 ways your current employer will disappoint you. The first two of these reasons might seem pretty straightforward to you, but the last one is a more subtle but equally major one, which is usually overlooked. First, you'll always get worse salary increases compared to moving companies. Staying in the same job for too long can cause you to lose money in the long run, even if it seems you are making more money through salary increases. There are other aspects here as well. One is the promise of a substantial salary increase by your manager, but never delivered on time or never delivered, period. This can be really upsetting if you were counting on that money for a certain expense. And usually, with big companies, the responsibility is shared between teams so that you cannot pinpoint exactly who is to blame for this. Also, have you seen the latest email from your CEO talking about the latest quarter? I bet everything they said seemed amazing. The company is doing great financially. We have grown our whatever metric to the highest of all time. Yet, the bonuses that you get seem really low compared to the great news. This is because companies develop some sort of a complacency regarding existing employees. The company simply takes them for granted, as they are already working for the company and working hard. Secondly, let's see what will happen with your career progression opportunities. Unfortunately, it is more likely that these could decrease if you are in a stagnant position. Reiterating from the last point, if you are always in a defensive position at work, in the best case scenario, only marginal things will happen. By being in a defensive position, I mean one of the following: staying in the same job for too long without any growth left in the tank, staying in the same team, following the same processes, or not questioning any decisions from the top. I agree that you need to pick up your battles carefully and don't be a prick, but you do need to speak up and put yourself first in any job endeavor. Falling into the trap of thinking that you deserve something and believing that it will happen without discussing it or specifically asking for it is simply not applicable. If we lived in a perfect world, people like them wouldn't become multimillionaires or CEOs. Imagine after 10 years of experience in the same job with the same employers flipping burgers, they are not even going to promote you to senior burger flipper. What a shame. Meritocracy in the modern corporate world is a bit of a joke generally, so fight for yourself or look for better alternatives as no one will take care of you. Comfort is good generally, but don't fall prey to having it too easy for too long. Too much of it, and you might suddenly wake up from a beautiful dream into the harsh reality. And lastly, the more time you spend in one place, the higher the walls to the outside world will grow. The first obvious thing I'm referring to is networking. Unless you are in a state of the art company which is constantly innovating in its industry, you will stagnate if you don't meet new people in your space. This goes hand in hand with finding out the latest trends in your industry. Finding out the newest trends for you as a veteran in your job might feel like how my 95 years old grandma feels when I'm talking to her about the internet. Needless to say, you want to know what the internet in your industry is, otherwise you will become obsolete pretty soon and your market value will decrease faster than the S&P in March 2020. On a professional level as well, there will be diminishing returns by staying with the same job. Your skills might shrink over time by being exposed to the same problems, same people, and same processes. Without being exposed to new stuff, your marketability for new opportunities will decrease. If shit hits the fan and you need another job, it will be very difficult and you will find yourself outpaced on so many levels. Your company is not going to bother with introducing you to new people or teaching you what the internet is, and especially they are not going to prepare you for a shit hits the fan situation. Because more often than not, business as usual is the target, and innovation is no longer needed if the investors are happy. And this is how your company will always disappoint you. Let me know in the comments how your company disappointed you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.